Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Gary's Mod. And today, the map we're going to be exploring is Liminal Archive Remake. Now, funnily enough, this is basically the third time I'm playing this map, but the thing is, I've tried it twice before. The first time when it first came out, again when it got an update, and a third time now that it's been apparently remade from the ground up, because the last couple of times, people always felt that it was creepy, but it was just sort of missing something, you know? Like, it felt like it was building to something that just wasn't there. And from what I've heard, this one seeks to rectify that. Now, I'm really curious to see how that's going to play out, because so far, this all looks pretty familiar. About the company. Volter Incorporated was founded in 1976 by businessman Trevor Cuspins. Trevor set 3 primary goals for his new company: discovering a way to control microorganisms, inventing a new way to produce energy, designing a new form of transportation. Voltor is all about innovating for a better tomorrow. New discoveries, advanced research, talented people, and only people such as you have helped us come this far. Thank you for your 35 years of service. Okay, so we're in like the 2000s, 2010 range, which is kind of funny. We must really be deep down in the archives because, yeah, look, floor -9. I imagine that upstairs this company is all modern and high-tech, but down here it's like I'm practically breathing in the dust of all these decades it's been left behind. Archive number 6. Attention, if red special lamps light up in the hall, then under any circumstances do not go to the archive. Okay, well, that doesn't seem to be the case. But yeah, I just love that little bit of detailing, how they explicitly set this in the modern day, and yet down here seems like such a time capsule, you know? It really makes us feel like we're rummaging where we really shouldn't be, like this place has been left behind. Attention, if you see a dark silhouette with outstretched arms and disproportionately sharp fingers, take these simple steps. Under no circumstances leave the building or call 911, take any firearm, hide where you will not be found, take your weapon and lean the muzzle to your temple, shoot, shoot, shoot. There is no room for the 2 of us. I don't know whether that would cause me to flee or make me even more curious, but clearly this ain't a company sign. Or possibly even worse if it is, yep. And it's just as well, we don't have the option of taking the elevator back up. Plant biological analysis room. Oh, hello, that's a mighty strange lamp you've got bolted into the floor there.
Sensor triggered in zone. Hall, PBA.
Okay, that's new. I guess something recognized that I entered, and this goes back out onto the same space, right? So I guess it's not just an archive, they had labs down here as well. Sample 4, soil of the earth impregnated with the substance galliumstin. Radiation 0.4, danger 1 out of 10, cyanide 1.6. But it does seem to just be normal soil. Sample 3, oceanic stone impregnated with cesium-42. Highly radioactive and dangerous, got a high cyanide content as well. And clearly nothing grows in it. Sample 2, a piece of rock treated with MKA-OLDA. Radiation 3.9, danger 6 out of 10, cyanide 5.1. Still nothing you want to shovel into your mouth, but I can't help but note the similarity to the name MK Ultra. Sample 1, soil of the earth combined with the substance cyanto-5. And this one is also relatively low danger, but still nothing growing in it. I guess I was being damaged the entire time. Well, there's one reason not to snoop, but one reason why a company that doesn't want to be sued should probably be sealing its doors. Okay, hang on, wait. Let's see how this works. We walk in here. We're good. Walk over here. This was the most dangerous. Yep, and it immediately starts removing. You know, some sort of sound cue or something would be nice. I suppose it's realistic, but not in how quickly it happens. It's the kind of thing you find out about decades later, I feel like. Generator. Turn off, turn on. Well, something tells me we don't want to be messing with that right now. I'd rather do this in the light, if you don't mind.
Sensor triggered in zone, hall, canteen.
I see. So if I or, anyone else were to enter a room, you would call that out? It said there's no room down here for the two of us. Voltor is accepting applications. If you have a friend or relative who are in fields of anatomical sciences, robotics, or botanical engineering, immediate openings are open for the positions of technician, engineer, and uranium silvium acid analyzer. We are here for them. Not accepting applicants with records of prior drug or alcohol use. Well, you know what? To be honest, given what I just stumbled into, I understand that. You do not want people stumbling around here. Oh, wait, there's a couple of notes. Hi, Lee. Please leave some cheese for me. P.S. I'm gonna leave this note since I've got tired of waiting for you. I have to go to the 12th floor. Gary wants to tell me something. P.P.S. Where's the cheese I've asked you to leave? I've been gone for an entire hour and I know you've read this, so why didn't you leave any cheese? Don't remember that you lost to me? You have to grant all my wishes. There better be cheese when I get back here in 30 minutes. Did that cheese ever arrive, or is it decades too late? And what is the obsession with cheese? Sometimes do you dream of it? Miles, I've already told you that cheese is mine. Why do you need it anyway? Oh, I know. You have a crush on Helen, don't you? I know that Helen loves cheese, and you're a fine fellow, but no, I won't give you no cheese, and I will no longer follow your orders. I've done enough of your tasks anyway. What kind of android-robot interaction is this between people? Anyway, I'd like to know how old that interaction is. This place may be from the 70s, but who knows how long it's actually been empty. Power's still on, still running the generator. Office number 118. Now this doesn't look as familiar. I think this might be new. Still, the silence is crazy. Like, it's one of those things where I just stop and listen, and when I don't hear anything, I can't help but be hyper-aware. I was honestly thinking for a second that I'd see some head poke back down behind one of those cubicles. Remember, you can break the rules and use your phone at work, but you can't dodge getting fired. Okay, so this was in use much more recently. Please follow the rules, and then you'll be a good member of our team. We can achieve more only if we work by the rules. I'm guessing they don't want you to have phones down here at all. It seems like somebody wants to keep secrets. Miles Moore, Helen Wright, Michael Harris. And this one is left blank. This over here, however, is Christopher Lee, who, I guess had a bit of a rough patch in his career in the 70s. Other than that, though, it doesn't seem like there's anything to be found, at least not as far as I can see. Maybe a memo on a desk or something? This lamp is still sitting on. Oh, wait, there is something here. Archival recording 1979. Documentation about developments of the project Tipfon. Documentation author, Gypsum Maslov. I finally got a sample of the Casanlo fluid. This will be my main substance for creating the warp space singularity. Our experiments with the Fortis balls were successful. We managed to achieve the zeroing of the matter in the left bowl of the vessel, and the object weighing 106 grams located in the left bowl of the sauce simply disappeared. This experiment prompted me to perform the same manipulation, but with more massive objects. I want to nullify matter to a warp space singularity, already an object with a mass of 4 to 6 kilogram. To do this, you just need to recreate the singularity of space 200 times more... Wait, what? To do this, you just need to recreate the singularity of space 200 times more powerful. I think that it's necessary to add an additional hydraulic booster, as well as at least a small stabilizer for more competent work. I'm not sure where objects are sent after the singularity, or if it's possible to send heavier objects as a human, but I have to find out. Now, granted, I may not be the most scientifically literate, but to me a lot of that sounds like gibberish. But either way, you were messing with theoretical physics down here, things that to us would probably look like magic if we saw it in person. The ability to warp things in and out of existence, as far as I can tell.
Sensor triggered in the zone. Hall. Archive.
Yes, this has certainly changed a fair bit, and definitely for the better. Look, those endless lights just stretching off into the distance. I can hardly see the opposite wall all the way down there. It's like a nightmare where you're trying to run down a hall and it just keeps stretching further and further away from you. And there is that bicycle. Some of you actually told me when I explored the map the first time around that such a thing is actually really found in places like this. How a bike is actually often necessary to get around in these places. But the silence is still ever present. And not only do we have to run all this way, but we have to do so thinking about these dark crevices off to our left and right as we go. And some of this debris really doesn't make a lot of sense. Look, the railing has fallen down here. Actually, somebody stretched a makeshift bridge across. Pile of crates down there. It comes from the depths. Oh my god. That actually scared me because I saw the tip of the boot first. Okay. Depths like what we're seeing to the sides here. Oh my god. Oh, I thought I saw something standing there. Actually, it's just a vent. Okay, we'll have to come back and explore that. You primed me by telling me that there's not room here for two of us, so I'm already expecting that there's somebody else hiding in here, and the fact that I can't hear a thing, even when I stand completely still, is even worse than if I'd heard rummaging or skittering. When you were warping things out of existence, at least as far as we can see, did you maybe accidentally warp something in? Locker, door, shadows, stop. Okay, there's a door on the side here. I am in here in my safety bubble, and in my safety bubble, nothing can harm me except for things peering down from the vents. Okay, never mind. This is not nearly as much of a safety bubble as it could be. But it's still more so than being out there. God. Once you give me this kind of shelter, I start to feel like... I feel like I'm on a raft in the middle of the ocean. Honestly, imagine a Voices of the Void style game. Just sitting at this desk right here, constantly staring out the window, glancing over at the door to make sure no one's peeking through. Glancing up at this to make sure no one's peeking through. Okay, what can we read? Evacuation plan? Run. Which, yeah, I see the utility in that. Announcement. Archive 06 will be completely disbanded by August 5th, 2008, due to the loss of one employee and lack of finance. Okay, so one of those things is more severe than the other. Head of Department, L.J. Larson. So 2008, we have a definitive closing date. So who are we then? Some employee who just got curious and wandered down here? Well, I suppose that's exactly this kind of situation I would find myself in. Ooh, wait. Are you actually displaying something? I mean, there's a little bit of a flicker to you, like you're maybe showing like a dark room or something, but the camera is active. This is a little unnerving because it kind of reminds me of when I used to explore the tunnels underneath my school in high school. Imagine coming upon something like this. This is a much worse version of the stall game when there are actual rooms like this. In fact, I believe it's the kind that probably calls for the safety Glock. It was just me. It was just me grabbing a mag. It was just me grabbing a mag. The game doesn't know the difference between grips. That's all there is to it. That's all we need to worry about. All right. You also don't know how to grip things when I'm holding this. Well, I guess paper towels can also work as TP, though I imagine you wouldn't want to flush it. I guess that's what the giant recycling bin is for. I really expected there to be something that I could only see in the mirror. Other end. The tension is palpable. Those are some strange-looking fixtures up there. They look like somebody's just taken the headlights off of some old Jeep or something and stuck them on the ceiling, grown them to like 50 times their size. All right, let's try the other side then.
Sensor triggered in zone. Archive. Stock.
Have you seen this person? Stan Lucas, born April 8th, 1964, lost May 17th, 2008. It's the employee reported lost down here. Gray pants, red sneakers, black glasses, red and blue shirt. Lost location, Voltor Factory, Block 6, Division 2, Archive 6. Went missing in this very place. And, oh, he was the security guard. Stan Lucas crossed out and replaced with Brian Robbins. Uranium mines incident. Wait. When did you go missing? April 8th. Uranium mines incident, April 7th. At 9 a.m., a series of explosions occurred in uranium mines 3, 4, and 9. It was concluded that the explosion was caused due to sabotage, as explosives were planted on the rails. Casualties were extensive, leaving 27 dead, 38 in intensive care, and 9 missing. Several uranium storage facilities were damaged in the explosion, contaminating the surroundings. Rescue teams were reported suffering from radiation sickness. Fire broke out in Block 8 after gas lines burst from the explosion. Eyewitness accounts report sighting a strange man on the scene, but security is yet to locate the man. So, this happens immediately afterward. Maybe it wasn't otherworldly phenomenon that took you. Maybe it was plain old corporate espionage. Actually, that's kind of beyond corporate espionage. That's practically corporate warfare. Then again, I'm assuming a motive. Maybe it was you. There's a thought. Maybe you just decided to disappear right afterwards I mean, we don't know what happened to you. It just says you're lost, missing. There's another job poster.
The sensor recorded an unidentified person in the hall.
Excuse me. Someone's out there? Hang on, should I go close the door? I don't want to... I mean, if I'm back here, I'm likely to see them before they see me, right? Are you... Okay. God, the one time a breaking of the silence wasn't caused by me. That same clinical voice, and yet it's pretty much the worst thing I could have heard in this moment. Henry, we have bad news. Due to the closure of 4 departments, the finances for the maintenance of 3 loaders have run out. Therefore, Nick is unfortunately fired. So we're left alone. Sorry. SL. Sounds like you're SOL. Something is entered, and yet it's still so silent. I don't like this. Oh, wait, there's something behind the door. Important guidelines for employees. All employees must comply with our code of conduct. See page 28 of Employee Handbook. Employees must keep their workspace tidy and clean. Employees must listen to superiors' orders. Employees must not loiter or rest outside of specified break times. Employees must attend mandatory security checks at the following times: 12:30 p.m., 4 p.m., and 6:15 p.m. All employees must leave the building before 11 p.m., with exception of security staff. Failure to do so will result in punishment, so you took that rule very seriously. Employees are prohibited from using any device capable of capturing photos and videos. Room D53C is off limits for all personnel. Employees are prohibited from discussing work-related activities with outsiders, detailed in non-disclosure agreement. All very secretive stuff down here. I mean, who knows what we'd find if we were able to start pulling open some of those drawers. Somebody messed with the generator. Where is that coming from?
Sensor triggered in zone. Archive. Stock.
Okay, I'm hoping that was me. And I also really hope that that's not copyright. I think we just have to follow the evacuation plan, unless that was also modified by something. We just gotta go for it. Go, 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 go. Possibly straight towards something. Go. Come on. And out.
Sensor triggered in the zone. Hall. Archive.
Come on, turn on, turn on, turn on. The red lights were on. Somebody's here with us. 100%, yeah. And it's nevertheless able to keep its very minimal elements creepy. Archive number 4 for authorized personnel only. There's a whole sub-level now. Okay, you know what? We're gonna come back to this. There's another hidden room. But first we need to explore more of upstairs. There's more to see. Deal with the old stuff first before trying to mess with the new. Thing is, I don't know if I'm safer maneuvering back here in the dark where I won't be seen, where I can keep my back to the wall, or if I'd be better off keeping in the light. That's the boot. I just heard a door open. Okay, screw it. Screw it. Nope, we gotta get in. We gotta get in and we gotta do it now. How did I end up over here? Nope. Nope, screw it. How do I keep ending? Wait. It's like every time it goes dark, I end up further away from this vent. Come on. Get out. Secret hideaway. I know that they wanted not to cure me, but to kill. Cure you of what? If they see me, they will see me in hell. Come on, get out of my way, stuff. There's too much of a glow. I can't read this. Protocol F437, removal of NDA violators. This document must only be issued to Something Research Center Primary Command in the event that any employee reveals sensitive information, such as incidents, research findings, or company policy. The employee in question will be subject to removal. Within 8 days of the interaction, the employee must be something and taken by site security to the medical ward. Once at the medical ward, the employee should be brought to the removal chamber. Doctors will instruct the employee to sit on the chair, which they are then strapped to, preventing unwanted escape attempts. After the euthanasia process has been completed, the corpse is to be put into a yellow body bag. All body bags are to be transported to the boiler room covertly, as to not raise suspicion from the rest of the workers. Corpses arriving in the boiler room are to be cremated. After the process is complete, a letter will be sent to the relatives explaining that the employee has gone missing. So, I guess the security guard got a hold of this document, realized what was going to happen after he found something he shouldn't have, and then, well, here we are. And lucky for him, this place was here, huh? Hang on, can we interact with this? No, it does not seem so. Which means we're going back out there. Now, I still remember from years back that the crates that are stacked against one of the walls over here are hiding something, as if it weren't already. I don't like being in the dark like this. I also don't like making this much noise. Huh, but I actually can't see any obvious seam. Nothing that would indicate to me that something's here. Alright, then maybe we have a look upstairs, if at all possible. I've got to be thorough. In previous versions, I don't think there was really anything up there, but this is a remake and times may have changed. I just can't help but feel that I'm making a whole lot of noise. And that one of these days I'm going to see something move around a corner in the dark across the way, and by the time I come back, it'll be long gone. Was this something the guards set up for convenience sake? Or was it something done in the heat of the moment out of necessity? You say there's no room down here for two of us. Well, maybe there's already more than one? I mean, now I'm thinking, what if I make 3? Alternatively, if we really want to think about this logically, here's the way into the security booth where someone has apparently set up shop. What if this whole thing is just some sort of Scooby-Doo hoax perpetrated by this guy? I mean, if you didn't want to be found, wouldn't you want this to be the haunted old archive that nobody wants to go down into? The place is perfect because it was really creepy to begin with. And all you have to do is mess with people when they come in here, crawl out of your little vent hideaway while somebody enters, shut off the generator behind them, find someplace else to hide, and then, they run for the hills. This place develops a reputation, nobody comes down here. That's what I would do. I might try to leave at some point. Actually, it's probably pretty imperative that the cheese was deposited in the fridge. Otherwise, I don't know what this guy is eating. Alright, now for the part I was dreading. Before we do anything else, we've got to see what's going on over here. Yeah, this is how we open doors in America. This is the first ambient sound we've yet heard. Are you tormented by paranoia? Well, now I am. There's a phone on the wall there. But it doesn't seem to do anything. That sound has actually followed me back out here. It's still with me. Okay, back to the safety Glock. Or should we? We've got to make a choice here. Watching this video must be like watching tennis, huh? And even more, these archives end at the wall. There's not actually a space behind them. Problem is, the more repetition in this task, the more you anticipate something to actually be there, and the more it'll catch you off guard. It just ends in this little alcove. Missing ship, Volspur. On June 19th, 1987, Volspur sailed from St. John to Boston, transporting equipment for the IFTY-85 experiment. The ship was scheduled to arrive by June 25th, 1987. However, on June 22nd, at 2 Pacific Time, Coast Guard received several distress signals originating from Volspur. Attempts to further contact the ship were met with failure. Rescue helicopters were dispatched to the last known coordinates of the ship, but the teams were unable to locate anything. Director Benjamin Hops of Voltor Inc. stated that he suspects a rival corporation Async is responsible for the disappearance. He reasons that directly after the disappearance, Async submitted a patent detailing a device codenamed KV31, which had striking resemblance to the Voltor IFT-Y85 project. A lawsuit was filed but never got off the ground. The case was closed August 2nd, 1988. So it really could be corporate warfare. Or maybe you really can transport something more massive than a couple of grams? Top secret, File 7, missing ship Volsper, property of the FBI. And yet it ended up in this company's hands. Archival recording, 1985. Documentation about updating the IFT-Y85 project. Documentation author, Dave Roger. Gypsum Maslov. Following your recommendations, we changed the upholstery of the distorting passage from titanium to tungsten. Distorting passage? We also decided to remove the elasticity of the hydraulic cables to form a microflow of instant cyanide and glycine into the hydroreactor. Because at a pressure of 105 atmospheres, they began to twitch and stretch. This is a rather big risk of breaking the hydroreactor cables. We also noticed that a better microparticle stabilizer is needed. We've already observed several times the unstable operation of the reactor when turned on at full power. If in 1986 we manage to recreate the distorted space, then in 1988 we will be able to launch the first person there. So the project budget should be doubled. Thank you very much for taking the time to my documentation. I will write you again when we start Test 12. Yeah, sounds like you may have been too successful. But beyond that, I don't know where else to look. So that was Liminal Archive Remake, and I have to say, after a rough couple of starts, this certainly feels like it's got a lot more of what it was missing. It's not compromising on the original feeling by adding a whole ton of scares that don't need to be there, but it's certainly got a lot more information for you to work with, which still isn't saying much. It paints just the barest edges of a picture, and makes you feel like you're intruding on something, that you're being put on some kind of a list, that you're being marked for seeing. You're really creeped out to be down here, wondering who you're actually trespassing on, and yet you're almost just as scared as what's going to happen when you get out of here. Almost makes you think that maybe you should disappear into these archives, never to be seen again. But now is time for our noteclip run. Yep. Oh, we've got a creator room over there. There's the secret room off to the side. There's the other secret room down here. And it looks like that's all there is to it. Okay, well, let's start with the one that I've known about. This is the one that was behind the box wall. Yep. Here we are. Here's the Hammer Fun Room. Map by Mr. Digger, Map Logic, Mon4LK, PRman/Map Tester, FMen. P.S. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. Fun. But there is another room to check out. Memories that cannot be broken, impossible to steal, and impossible to forget. Mr. Digger. Kind of strange to have a whole room dedicated to this. It makes me think that there's perhaps more significance to this. Now, from reading some Steam comments, I believe that maybe this had some sort of ARG associated with it. It's so cool to see such big plans for a map, all in this fairly small and self-contained package. I mean, it definitely doesn't feel small when you're exploring it for the first time. It actually sort of reminds me a little bit of the library from the Page Master. You remember that?
Sensor triggering zone. Hall. PBA.
I think it's really awesome that this map understands that it is the loneliness that makes this work. And so it doesn't need to compromise this in a remake by stuffing it with even more. It's got a couple of things, such as that announcer, to keep you on edge. It's all about the fear of something being in here with you, and understanding that the tension would be broken if something were to pop out and try to eat you. There's all these things that sort of build your anticipation, and really it's just about doing what I was doing, of looking into those dark corners, those dozens of dark corners, wondering where it's going to come from, and feeling that there has to be something. But you know what? I'm actually going to restart the map. Did I just hear whispering? Is there maybe more to this still? Okay, I'm going to be honest. I was about to restart the map because I wanted to try something. Something that somebody talked about on the Steam workshop. So what we needed to do was come back here and wait for the power to go out. And instead of rushing straight to turn it back on, which of course was my instinct, I think we need to leave it off. There we go. Now we need to come over here to the right and discover the secret room. At this point, I haven't forgotten the sound of opening and closing doors either. Oh, come on. I don't like doing this in the dark. Oh yeah, this is worse in the dark. This is so much worse in the dark. Spend a little bit of time in here for good measure. And then, with the flashlight out, turn and go to leave. Oh my god! Okay, yeah, kinda wish I had seen that before. But distinctly human. God, that is so creepy, but why would you come in here? Why would you come in here while the lights are still off? Alright, we are going to rush back there immediately and do this. Man, if I had seen that in the moment, I absolutely would have flown out of my skin. I practically did just now. There we go. And since we apparently can't take the elevators back up, I guess we just kind of sit here with the safety Glock pointed safely at the door and never leave. There's tension even in this image, don't you think? But if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that would be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this map out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Imagine something comes running down the hall, stepping out of one of the aisles, and then just turns, faces me, and runs screaming in my direction.